You just know that they were like, oh, we want you to play Bruce Springsteen. And Jeremy Allen White was like, yeah, I guess. And they were like, but he's so depressed. And he was like, fuck yeah.
Don't need to be perfect. I just want it to feel right.
this, this film did things to me, man. You can't do that. You can't just make a film that's supposedly about a rock star being a literal boss and then turn it into a father-son trauma dump. That's some people. That's not okay for some people. You can't do that, okay? Springsteen, Deliver Me From Nowhere, might benefit from the naming convention, but it is annoying as hell. I don't like it's such an annoying name. Anyway, Jeremy Allen White stars as Bruce Springsteen, already a star on the cusp of major stardom, but before he gets there, he finishes a tour, goes back home to New Jersey to try and write an album that's going to lift him into that next level of mega international fame. And he starts writing something quite different while recording literally in his bedroom with one dude there helping him. Some songs that are very different and might, you know, if somebody listened to them, make you think he was going through some sort of mental health crisis, which would be silly because he's a man in the 1980s. They didn't have mental health problems. You know, I just keep saying I'm so over the musician biopic. They're doing it to death, and it's getting crazy. However, I do like the slight resurgence of ones that are more focused on like a specific story or moment or event or period from a musician's life as opposed to just being about the whole thing. Because when you try to encapsulate the whole thing, it just becomes a bit of a mess. And I don't think the film is like really saying something. Whereas I feel like in this sort of case, especially with this one, it is a very specific story that's trying to make a very specific kind of point, or at least that's how I felt watching it. And it is about this album that he makes, and it's interesting to me because it manages to make a film about this specific point while kind of capturing some of the other things that you would want from a more traditional musician biopic. You know, it does feature him writing some of his most well-known songs and showing how that process came together and things like that, but it also is so much more focused on, I mean, honestly, just his childhood trauma. It's mostly about that, and so you do get to see him as a child because it's showing scenes from that, but you also get to experience some beautiful filmmaking about a very sad topic, a very sad time in his life, and the loneliness of that plays into it. And I felt like I was watching scenes later in the film and seeing the flow of the story where it was going, and I was saying to myself like, oh, that makes me like that scene from the beginning of the film like so much more now. Like I was having these thoughts like I was rewatching it while I was still like watching it for the first time. In short, this film lives rent-free in my head. I saw it yesterday, I'm already obsessed. I mean, I'm a big fan of Bruce Springsteen, I'm a big fan of Jeremy Allen White. I was excited for this, and I didn't really know how deep it was going to go. I mean, I maybe should have expected it, because when does Jeremy Allen White not go incredibly deep in whatever role he's playing? But it is a film that I find it so watchable. I loved the direction they took. I loved the relative quiet of it for a film about a rock star, but I mean, it feels realistic that some of these people do their big tours and big moments, and then they go home and just live a chill life. And that's very much what this character wants. And it seems like that's what Bruce Springsteen is just like. And it's so watchable. I thought the mixture of themes and ideas it's going for is just awesome. I think it's so refreshing to break the mold on the rockstar biopic. There isn't a scene where he does drugs in this film. There isn't a scene where he gets like incredibly drunk or cheats on his wife. Arguably, he does mention that he's kind of with someone before agreeing to go on a date with this woman. That's not important. It's a totally different kind of person to what you're used to seeing these films made about. The messages about male mental health, amazing. The whole cast is great. I mean, I love like Jeremy Strong, and he was playing an unproblematic manager. How often do you get that in a musician biopic? There's just so many things I like about the way they both turned away from the traditional biopic, didn't try to like stray too far from the pack, like they didn't try to turn it into a super like inaccessible film. It's a quiet film. It's about things you might not expect it to be about, but it's still, and I mean that's what I love as well. It is built in a way and with a character and with the songs of Bruce Springsteen in it that will get people to watch it, but it's a film about male mental health. you know how hard it is to get, like, men today to go actually watch a film about male mental health? Like, it's so important, and I'm so in love with it just for that alone, even if I didn't love everything else about it. And I pretty much do love everything else about it. I think it's just... it just really genuinely got me, and I loved this film right off the bat, and I'm guessing I'm going to continue to. So I'm giving Jeremy Allen White being too busy for a proper relationship cinematic universe 4.5 stars. Like, good film. Very good film. You should subscribe. Just cause.